All right, we are live here. It's another baseball season, this time on Channel S. Jacob Neal. We are presenting opening day baseball from Tampa Bay, Florida, between the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. I am your host, Shay Neal, alongside my partner, Mark Miller. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here, and it's 86 degrees in Tampa Bay, Florida, and I'm excited for a great Yankees and Rays game.
Yeah, man, I've been counting down the last 4 months until opening day. This is like Christmas for me as a baseball fan, and it gets started right now. So last season, the Yankees finished fourth in the AL East with a record of 84-78. Tampa Bay brought up the rear with a record of 68-94. Both teams look to improve upon that year from last year. And now Mark will break down the starting pitching matchup today between Tanaka and Archer.
Tanaka, his 2016 stats were, I would say, pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say he's the ace of the Yankees.
He went 14-4 starting, 119.2 or 199.2 innings pitched, 36 walks, 165 strikeouts, and a 1.08 WHIP, and with a 3.07 ERA.
If he stays healthy the whole year, that seems like all-star numbers, maybe even Cy Young contention numbers. Wouldn't you agree?
I would definitely agree. Those are great numbers, especially for a starting pitcher.
Yeah, I think Tanaka, a lot of the Yankees' hopes and dreams of postseason baseball this season lie on the shoulders of their ace, Masahiro Tanaka. And now the Rays starter had a down year last year, but looks to bounce back because he's one of the best strikeout pitchers in baseball in Chris Archer.
Yes, he did. He went 9-19 with a 201.1 innings pitched and 67 walks and 233 strikeouts with a 1.24 WHIP and a 4.02 ERA.
Yeah, Archer definitely known as more of the strikeout pitcher, having a total of almost 80 more strikeouts than Tanaka, but almost twice as many walks too. So Tanaka definitely better control, you got to think, with his pitches. And I think that, honestly, in my opinion, I think that's more important to a pitcher. I mean, you can strike him out all you want, but if you can't control your pitches, I mean, what's the point?
I definitely agree. And with that high ERA, he doesn't have as much control over the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And Chris Archer, obviously, Masahiro Tanaka, what's crazy is Masahiro Tanaka throws twice as many pitches as Chris Archer. Archer known for his flame-throwing 96-mile-an-hour fastball, along with that 88-mile-an-hour changeup that catches hitters off guard and the strikeout pitch of the 89-mile-an-hour slider. Tanaka, though, throws 3 primary pitches and 3 more secondary pitches. The 3 primary pitches he's known for, obviously, his sinker, splitter, and slider, which he brought over with him from Japan. And four-seam, fastball, cutter, and curveball also in his arsenal, but not really used as much as the other 3. It should be a great game. Chris Archer starting to warm up on the mound right now. And while we're waiting, why don't we go over the offseason stories for both teams?
Let's start off with the Yankees here. Obviously, the big one is that the Yankees re-signed Aroldis Chapman to a 5-year, $86 million deal, making him the richest relief pitcher in MLB history.
Yeah, the Yankees definitely have proven over the last couple of years if they want a pitcher, they're not, or any player for that matter, they will not hesitate to spend the money they need to get them.
I definitely agree. And then with the additions of Matt Holliday and Chris Carter, they're looking to make a benefit from last year.
Yeah, that veteran leadership on the team should definitely help those young Yankee bats moving forward. But a big question this year for the Yankees is Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez, 2 big cornerstones of those World Series teams, are both gone now. How do you think life will be without those 2 players?
I think they need young players to step up and make their impact upon the league.
Yeah. And moving on to Tampa, I think it'll be a good year, though, for the young Yankees players. Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, all in the starting lineup today for their first opening day. And I think they'll rebound nicely, and I think they'll be back to being the New York Yankees everyone knows of in a couple years, if not this year. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Rays, they added Logan Morrison and Wilson Ramos, who tore his ACL last year but is a National League All-Star with the Nationals, and he is expected to be back around late May. And also Colby Rasmus in the outfield. So a couple all-star additions for Tampa Bay as well. And then a big trade in the offseason was they traded Logan Forsythe to the Dodgers for promising left-handed pitcher Jose De Leon. And hopefully he will be seen on the ball club this year. Gary Sanchez projected to be the new captain of the Yankees now. Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain himself, was saying in an interview a couple days ago that he could easily see Gary Sanchez being the next leader of this team. And considering he only played in 52 games last year, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I definitely agree. When he was on that field, he showed so much leadership and control. Exciting to see what this season holds.
Well, he gets the start today, and we'll go break down the visiting New York Yankees lineup. Starting in left field, leading off, you have Brett Gardner. Batting second, the catcher Gary Sanchez, as we just mentioned. Batting third is the first baseman Greg Bird. In the cleanup spot, the DH Matt Holliday. Batting fifth is the center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. Batting sixth, the second baseman Starlin Castro. Seventh is the third baseman Chase Headley. Eighth is new right fielder rookie Aaron Judge. And ninth, with the absence of Didi Gregorius, who will be on the DL for the first month of the year with a shoulder injury, is Ronald Torres. I like this Yankee lineup. I think it's very young, but it shows a lot of promise. And I think with bats like Chris Carter and Aaron Hicks and Austin Romine off the bench, those veterans, I think this team definitely – I don't think the bats are the problem. I think it's just getting more experience with those younger players.
Definitely. I'm sure their nerves are in full gear right now.
Oh yeah, first opening day. It's crazy. It's like the Super Bowl for baseball players.
Yeah, but once that game starts and those pitches fly, everything's going to be great.
Yeah. We'll break down really quick the 25-man roster for the Yankees. Obviously, the starter on the mound today is the ace, Masahiro Tanaka. Also making the rotation for the Yankees, you have CC Sabathia, Michael Pineda, Luis Severino, and Brian Mitchell. As we mentioned, Chris Carter, Aaron Hicks, Austin Romine, Mason Williams, and Rob Refsnyder are all on the bench for the Bronx Bombers. In the bullpen, you have John Barbado, Chasen Shreve, and Tom Lane, all expected to be used in middle relief roles, with Tyler Clippard and Dylan Betances as the setup guys, and returning as the closer, the Cuban Missile himself, Aroldis Chapman. And now Mark will break down some of the top 5 prospects in the Yankees organization when they're projected to make their MLB debut.
A big guy that I'm excited for is Clint Frazier. He's an outfielder and is estimated is this year. We're estimating he will make his debut this year. Yeah. I'm excited. I think he showed some really good numbers. Last year.
They were very excited to get him. They traded away Andrew Miller, one of the better arms in that bullpen, but they got Clint Frazier for that, who's considered by many to be the top outfield prospect in baseball. And the Yankees just keep getting younger, and they have so many good prospects. And you have to think in a year or two, this Yankee team is going to be so dangerous.
Another prospect is Gleyber Torres at shortstop, and we expect to see him next year in 2018. And I think the Yankees have had a good job finding some good shortstops, especially people like Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited. That's a very prestigious place a position to play in, especially after the loss of that legend.
A lot of people consider shortstop to be the most important defensive position on the team. And shortstop for the New York Yankees, I'm sure for a lot of these young kids, has a pretty cool name to it. I am the shortstop for the New York Yankees. That's not something a lot of people can say.
Nope. Another prospect is Jorge Mateo, and we've seen him. I'm expecting to see him in 2020.
Yeah, very young prospect. Signed him when he was 18 2 years ago out of the Dominican. Still definitely has some work to be done, but they like what they've seen from him so far.
He's had some solid moments, but a couple spots that he needs to work on, that's for sure.
The number 4 prospect in the Yankees organization, we're going to see him starting in right field today. That's Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him today and see how well he does under pressure.
Definitely one of the biggest power bats in all of baseball already, and he's only 23 and making his not his major league debut. I mean, he played 20 games last year at the end of the year, but opening day, this is where it all begins for some of these young players.
Yep, and then Justice, my bad. Justice Sheffield, pitcher. We expect to see him this year, later on this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think the rotation's pretty solid right now with Tanaka, Sabathia, Pineda, and Severino, but definitely a guy you could see when the rosters expand to 40-man up in August and September. So that is the Yankee breakdown of their roster for today's game. I mean, I think the Yankees are definitely the better team in this matchup, but the Rays definitely, obviously with the big arm of Chris Archer and then players in that lineup like Dickerson and Longoria and Kiermaier and the new guy, Alex Smith. I mean, Brad Miller from last year. This team definitely no slouch, and it should be a very interesting contest today.
Yeah, whichever team puts in the most effort today, I can see coming out on top.
Yeah. Well, later on in the after Chris Archer takes the mound for the top of the first, we will break down the Rays' 25-man roster for the upcoming season. And stepping into the box is Brett Gardner to lead off the Yankees season. Chris Archer, last season at home, went 3-10 with a 2.65 ERA, which is very hard to believe because he led the AL in ERA, and he went 3-10. That's Chris Archer just needs to get that help behind him in the bats. So Brett Gardner comes into this fresh year, leadoff hitter, left fielder for the New York Yankees, under the reign of Joe Girardi, who's now entering his 10th year as the Yankees manager. One of the best in the business. I mean, I'm not a Yankees fan by any means, but it's hard not to respect Joe Girardi.
Especially with those numbers. Just a great manager.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, the managers are finishing giving their lineups to the umpires, and I think we're ready to go. First matchup of the season, Brett Gardner versus Chris Archer. I've been waiting 4 months for this one. And here comes the top of the first will be Gardner, Sanchez, and Greg Bird. Joe Girardi definitely making it known that he wanted to see that lefty-righty alternate in his lineup, and he made that the case, switching Holiday and Bird so that he could have a lefty batting first, third, and fifth, and then righties batting second, fourth, and sixth. I think that will be a very good strategy by the Yankees manager, and I think this could end up being a very good game for the Yankees.
Yes, and switching batting hands also will make him change his strategy when it comes to
stepping into the box is Brett Gardner, who hit 261 with 7 home runs, 41 RBIs, 80 runs last year, which led the team in 16 stolen bases. And he takes an inside fastball from Archer, and we are underway in the 2017 Major League Baseball season with a fastball inside ball 1. Brett Gardner comes into this game, one of the few veterans left on this Yankee team. Him and Jacoby Ellsbury, really all that's left from those Yankees teams of a couple of years ago. Other than that, it's new faces in the Bronx, and here comes the 1-0 from Archer. Fastball caught the upper half of the zone. Strike 1-1 count to Gardner. Chris Archer and the Tampa Bay Rays wearing their alternate powder blue jerseys today, which is nice to see on opening day. I like that they thought about the uniform. Yankees obviously in their away gray. And Archer gets his sign from the catcher Derek Norris, and here comes the 1-1. And it's just a bit outside on another fastball. 2-1 the count. 3 straight fastballs to start the game from Archer. I know that's his primary pitch and is what he's known for, but I think if he's going to have success today, he has to trust that slider and that changeup as well and can't just throw fastballs all game.
Oh, definitely. The batters will read that all game long, and that'll lead to some very big hits.
2-1 was a fastball that caught the outside corner, and it's strike 2. 2-2 to Brett Gardner, who enters his 8th season with the Yankees. Like I said, one of the older players on this Yankee team and one of, I'm sure, the veterans in the clubhouse for these younger guys. And he will be batting leadoff for most of the year after, surprisingly, Joe Girardi moved Jacoby Ellsbury from the leadoff spot down to 5th in the lineup. Obviously hoping for some more run support. 2-2 pitch. Gardner slaps one down the right field line. Foul ball. That was the first changeup we've seen today from Chris Archer, trying to get Gardner out in front. It did work, but he just got enough of it to stay alive.
Yeah, and then he gets another chance at this. I think he'll try to play it safe, maybe. Get him another ball.
Yeah. I could see him trying to get him with that slider in the dirt because that is known for his strikeout pitch, and I think he could get him to try and chase on this one here. Here comes the 2-2 from Chris Archer. And it was indeed a slider, but Gardner puts it in play to left field. Running in is Alex Smith, and it makes the catch for the first out of the 2017 season. Gardner is retired, and here comes one of the big pride and joys for the New York Yankees, catcher Gary Sanchez. Last year in 53 games, had a .299 batting average with 20 home runs, 42 RBIs, 34 runs scored, and 12 doubles. Definitely a very good hitter for the Yankees, and he's no slouch behind the plate either. Yankees pitchers all spring long have been saying how great of a defensive catcher Gary Sanchez is. I think this guy is just a phenomenal player with a very bright future in Major League Baseball.
His leadership for sure will show up today.
Here comes the first pitch from Chris Archer to Gary Sanchez. It is a fastball, and it hits Archer in the foot. He recovers in time and throws out Gary Sanchez for second out of the inning. Very athletic play there by Chris Archer to recover, but I'm sure that doesn't feel good, taking an 100-mile-an-hour line drive off your ankle 7 pitches into the season.
Ouch. Yeah, that's the thing that could break your ankle.
Yeah. Well, Archer is walking it off and looks to be okay. I hope he stays in the game. Obviously, we wish no injuries upon anyone. That did not look very good, but I think he's okay because he recovered in time to make the play. And Chris Archer's a tough dude. He's pretty tough. They come not much tougher than him. He's walking it off with the training staff for Tampa Bay, and I think he's going to stay in this game.
Yeah, they might pull him to put a brace on it, but besides that, I can't see him leaving after a replay. 7
pitches into opening day. I don't think they're going to pull him. I think he's too valuable to the team, and I think if he can walk, he's going to stay in the game. Yeah, that definitely caught him, though, right on the bone of his ankle as we're looking at this replay, right on the bone of his left ankle. And I'm sure that has to leave some excruciating pain in the body of Chris Archer. Here is Greg Bird, the first baseman and the only Yankee player on my fantasy team this year. I know that's hard to believe. So many good young Yankees players. I only got one. Greg Bird did miss all of last year with a shoulder injury. He did play 46 games in 2015, though, with a .261 average, 11 homers, and 31 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 to Greg Bird. And that slider bounces in front of home plate, 1-1. Chris Archer, so far, I mean, I like what he's bringing. He's gotten the first 2 Yankees out, obviously, but I don't think it's super dominant stuff. And I think by the 3rd or 4th inning, these Yankees are just going to adapt and start to get more hits and balls into the gap off of Chris Archer. And maybe even if it's like Sanchez or Bird or Judge, with the power that they have, maybe even put one into the seats. Souvenir for the fans.
Yeah, I've talked about his lack of control, and so far it's not. Showed up today.
Yeah, 2-1 here from Chris Archer to Greg Bird, the first baseman and hopeful future first baseman for the Yankees. And he takes a high and outside fastball. Good play by Norris there to not let that one get by him. And it's now 3-1 hitters count to Bird. What do you think here? Will Archer be conservative and just walk him to get to Holiday, or do you think he's going to give him a fastball and let Bird try and hit it? Well, he went conservative. It's another high and outside fastball, and Greg Bird draws a walk with 2 outs in the top of the first, and it will be the designated hitter just signed from the St. Louis Cardinals, Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday last season had a .246 batting average with 20 home runs, 62 RBIs, and 48 runs scored in an injury-shortened season with the Cardinals, and he's hoping to have a bounce-back year with the Yankees this year.
I can see him doing just that right now.
Yeah. Definitely, I think a double right now to score Bird would definitely be the spark that he needs and that this Yankee team needs. This is a big at-bat right here between Archer and Holliday.
Oh, definitely. I'm excited.
First pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1. I think I like the patience, though, that Greg Bird showed. His first game in a year and a half, and he took a 5-pitch walk. That's pretty impressive for a first baseman playing his first game in 18 months. I'm sure he was thinking, I want to hack at it. But
oh, definitely.
Definitely showing he has a bright future in the Bronx. 1-0 pitch from Archer. He did go around on that low slider, and it's 1-1 to Holliday. That was a nice slider there by Archer. That is his strikeout pitch. He threw it on the 1-0 there, and that was – I mean, I'd swing at that too. I can't blame Matt Holliday there.
Just a little too low for him. He wasn't expecting it to be that low.
Yeah.
And
here comes the 1-1. Greg Bird on first. Archer goes high. Fastball. It's just a bit high. It's now 2-1 to Holliday. Chris Archer has allowed 13 stolen bases last year, which is pretty high for a pitcher. 6 in the first inning. So do you think we could see Greg Bird running here this early in the season?
I can't see it really.
And that's another fastball that's outside, and it's another 3-1 count from Archer, definitely showing that he is more of the flamethrower, and unlike Tanaka, doesn't have complete control of all of his pitches.
Oh, definitely not. And control, I believe, is a bit more important than speed when it comes to striking people out. But yeah,
Definitely.
The stats show otherwise.
Velocity is a great physical gift to have, but if you can't control that velocity, there's no point. 3-1 pitch. It is put into play by Holiday. It's a ground ball to Brad Miller at second. They flip in time to retire Holiday to end the inning for now, but the Yankees might want to look at challenging this one. That was a bang play at first base.
Shay?
Yes.
Can you come here for a second? Can you bring up that first? And then you make one more.
So let's go over our starting lineup for the Tampa Bay Rays. To start off, we have Chris Dickerson as a designated hitter. And then we have Kevin Kiermaier, center fielder. Evan Longoria at third base. Brad Miller, second base. Steven Souza Jr., Logan Morrison, Malik Smith, and Tim Beckham and Derek Norris. And so let's see.
Did the Yankees end up challenging that call? What do you think, Mark? Is that safe or out?
I don't see enough evidence to change the call on the field.
The call on the field, of course, was that Holiday was retired and the Yankees inning ended. Archer, I'm sure, hoping after that wild first inning that the inning will indeed come to an end.
We'll get the call here. And he is out. So it was confirmed, and now the Tampa Bay Rays are up to bat.
So after the break, we will see Chris Dickerson, Kevin Kiermaier, and Evan Longoria, the Rays captain. While we're waiting at this commercial break, this is my DJ Lingboy, with melodic dubstep. All the Yankees have a horrible average. All the Rays guys. And we return now back to the Yankees and Rays, with the Rays up to bat now in the bottom of the first. Kevin Cash is the first-year manager for the Rays this year, and he features the lineup that Mark presented before the break. And due up in the bottom of the first is the DH Dickerson, the center fielder Kiermaier, and the third baseman Longoria, who last season led the team in average home runs and RBIs. No doubt the leader of this team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see what they can do now at the bottom of the first.
Yep. Masahiro Tanaka, the Yankees ace, takes the mound, the 28-year-old righty who went 14-4 last year with a 3.07 ERA. He was 7-0 in day games and 6-0 in his career against the Rays. The Yankees got to feel comfortable hearing that. And he starts it off with a fastball for a strike to Corey Dickerson, who tied his career high last year with 24 home runs, along with a 245 batting average and 70 RBIs. Definitely wants to raise that average, but if he can keep those power numbers up and bat 270, he could be a solid player at DH for the Rays. And he slaps a leadoff single off of Tanaka on the second pitch of the game. Tanaka tried to sneak in what looked like a splitter there, and Dickerson deposited it in the right center field, and the first batter of the year for Tampa Bay reaches. That's definitely the start I'm sure Kevin Cash was looking for.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that was just a good play by the batter here, reading the pitch and just slinging it right there in between.
Yeah, he got a low splitter there, and he bent his knees enough that he got a hold of it right with the barrel of the bat. That's a solid single to start the season. And now with a runner on first, it is Kevin Kiermaier, the center fielder for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he takes ball one low from Tanaka. Kiermaier comes into the year having last season in 105 games, hitting 246, 12 home runs, 37 RBIs, 55 runs scored, and 21 stolen bases. One of the few fast guys on this Rays team. And here is the 1-0 pitch from Tanaka. And that one also low and inside, and 2-0 now to Kevin Kiermaier.
Almost got away from the catcher there.
Yeah, Gary Sanchez with a good pick there to keep it in front of him and not let Dickerson take second on a wild pitch. Here comes the 2-0 to Kevin Kiermaier with the captain, Evan Longoria, waiting on deck. Tanaka kicks and fires. And that is chopped foul by Kiermaier, strike one. Breaking news. I know this is a baseball broadcast, but breaking news for all you NBA fans. Derrick Rose tore his meniscus in his left knee and is out for the remainder of the season. And as you know, he is a free agent after this year. So you have to start thinking, with that many knee injuries for Rose, is he done?
I can see him trying to go to one of the more less beneficial teams in the NBA. But
as Kiermaier takes a 2-1 and slaps it into left center field, what a beautiful play by Gardner to slide and make that stop so it wasn't a triple getting all the way to the wall. But now the Rays have runners on second and third with no one out for Longoria. You think Tanaka is just having some nerves get to him about opening day, or do you think the Rays just came out ready to play?
I think the Rays just came out ready to play. Have you seen this control he's had? He's cool under pressure, and it's just they've been playing well at the bottom of the first.
Well, this is about the best situation the Rays could have had. 2 runners on, nobody out, and it's the best hitter in Rays history coming to the plate, Evan Longoria. Led the team, as we mentioned earlier, in average home runs and RBIs last year with a 273 average, 36 home runs, 98 RBIs, and 81 runs scored. The primary offense for this Rays team, and he has a chance to do it again. Tanaka steps off the mound, waits for a signal from catcher Gary Sanchez. And here he stares down Evan Longoria. Runners on second and third, no one out. First pitch to Longoria.
The biggest pitch of this game so far.
And he pulls back again, and now he wants to talk it over with Gary Sanchez. Definitely a big situation here to get out of in the first inning. Definitely don't want to start off with your team trailing. And Tanaka, I'm sure, knows that and wants to think of the best possible pitch here to throw to get Longoria to maybe pop one up or something so you can't have a sac fly.
Yeah, you don't want to build any momentum for Tampa Bay, especially going in this game.
Tampa Bay's already got the crowd on their side. They don't need the lead, too.
Oh, no, for sure.
Career high 36 home runs for Longoria last year. He's sporting a full beard for the first time in his career here on opening day. And he chases a pitch in the dirt. What a beautiful pitch by Tanaka to get Longoria to chase that.
He faked it inside and made him swing.
That was a perfectly thrown slider. It looked like it was going right down the middle, and it tailed outside. That is about as good as it gets. That was a beautiful breaking ball from Masahiro Tanaka. No wonder he is the ace. When he throws pitches like that, there's no wonder that he's the ace of this staff.
For sure.
Here comes the 0-1 from Tanaka. He was Sanchez wants to set up inside, but he steps off the mound again, and I'm sure he didn't like that idea because Longoria is known for hitting inside fastballs in his career, and I don't know. Sanchez, the young catcher, probably didn't know that yet, and I'm sure Tanaka did. So they reset. Chris Dickerson on third, Kevin Kiermaier on second, Longoria with an 0-1 count, and he's going to fly one to right. Aaron Judge, the rookie right fielder, makes the catch. Here comes the throw. Dickerson is on his way, and he will beat it. A sacrifice fly for Evan Longoria as Aaron Judge's throw took Gary Sanchez off the bag a little bit. Probably wouldn't have had to play anyway, but it is now 1-0 Tampa Bay with one out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it was a big score for them. They're excited to get the lead early and hoping they score early and often.
Yeah, I'm sure Archer will feel a lot more comfortable with his pitches now that he has the lead, because the last 3 seasons that Archer has pitched on opening day, the Rays have given him absolutely no help on offense, and now he's got a lead in the first inning. I'm sure this is just as great to Chris Archer as it is to anyone else on this team.
For sure.
So now Aaron Judge, we got to see a little bit of his arm in right field. He had a pretty good throw there. It just took a little bit off the base. But now it is the cleanup hitter, Brad Miller, who had 30 home runs last season, and that was a beautiful blocked ball. Tanaka threw a splitter that ended up bouncing in the dirt, and Gary Sanchez blocked that like he was Yadier Molina. That was definitely signs of greatness in this young catcher for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Brad Miller last year hit 243 with 30 home runs, 81 RBIs, and 73 runs scored. The home runs and RBIs were both career highs for him. And he bats cleanup today now with Kiermaier on second and 1 out, and Tampa Bay already leading 1-0. Tanaka, low, ball 2. I think he was trying to go change up there, trying to get him to chase and hit a ground ball, but Brad Miller would not bite, and now it's a hitter's count 2-0. Sanchez gives the Tanaka his sign. For those of you that don't know, games tonight as well. At 4 o'clock, you have the Giants and Diamondbacks. As that one is laced. What a play by first baseman Greg Bird, lunging out. But Brad Miller is going to beat out the throw. And now the Rays have runners on the corners once again with 1 out. That was a great stop by Greg Bird, but just not enough time to flip it.
Yeah, the Rays are definitely showing dominance in the bottom of the first here. And
Bird
looks like he lost it.
It looks like Bird squeaked under his glove after he stopped it, and Castro tried to flip it in time, but there was not enough time there. What a stop, though, by Greg Bird, and just not enough time for Starlin Castro to flip it on to first. But now we have runners on the corners, 1 out, and it's Steven Souza Jr., the right fielder, who hit 247 last year, 17 home runs, 49 RBIs, and 58 runs scored. He is known for a little bit more of his defense than his offense, but I'm sure he is ready to show that he is a more balanced player than people believe.
Yeah, but the 17 home runs is not anything that's too great, but it shows that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It shows that he has pop in his bat, and if he can raise that average, he could definitely be a solid outfielder for the future for Tampa Bay.
And Tanaka's looking a little startled here.
Yeah. Definitely. Looks like Tanaka's a little rattled by 3 of the first 4 Rays reaching. And even the 1 out that he got was a sacrifice fly off the bat of Longoria. So he definitely needs either a strikeout or a ground ball double play. Is another one in the dirt from Tanaka, and it's 2-0 to Steven Souza Jr. Right now, I think you just got to try and throw a fastball at the bottom half of the strike zone and hope you can get a ground ball double play here and get out of this inning.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Sanchez has had at least 2 or 3 plays, though, this first inning where he's blocked some balls that should have honestly been a wild pitch, and he's just sacrificed his body to stop them, and that's very impressive, what you love to see from a young catcher.
Oh, yeah, Gary Sanchez has played very well.
2-0 pitch from Tanaka. That was a nice slider, but it just misses outside, and he's now 3-0 and in danger of walking Sousa with Logan Morrison, the new first baseman, on deck.
Oh, yeah, and you definitely don't want bases to be loaded right now, especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, especially with
1 out.
Especially with a first baseman coming up. First basemen are usually one of the strongest hitters on the team.
That too.
You got, again, Logan Morrison on deck. 3-0 pitch now to Sousa, and that is outside fastball, ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out here for Logan Morrison. With it 1-0 already, 1-0 Tampa Bay Rays. And now the Yankees pitching coach will come out and speak with Tanaka, as he's definitely in a serious jam here in the first inning of the 2017 season.
Oh, yeah, for sure. With the bases loaded right now, only 1 out, any big hit could lead to a score that they do not want to try to climb back from.
Yeah. You definitely need either best case scenario for the Yankees here is either a strikeout to build Tanaka's confidence or a ground ball double play to get out of this inning. Tim Beckham now waits on deck, the shortstop, with Logan Morrison coming up to the plate. Logan Morrison signed from Miami this past offseason. He hit .238 with 14 home runs, 43 RBIs, and 45 runs scored for the Marlins last year, splitting time with Christian Yelich at first base. And now he is the sole primary first baseman for the Rays, looking, I'm sure, to have a breakout season that makes the Rays management feel like they made the right decision.
Oh, yeah. The Rays are looking to be bounce back for sure from last year's poor performances, and I can see them doing just that.
What's crazy to believe, probably the craziest stat about Logan Morrison, he had a .238 batting average in 107 games, which means he probably had approximately maybe 60 hits last year. He had 14 home runs, only 7 singles for Logan Morrison last year. He's definitely a doubles home run kind of guy. He doesn't hit it very well for just contact. He's definitely swinging for the fences every time he steps up to the plate. And if he gets a hold of one right here, this could be all Rays really early.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he swings and he hit, and there's a single up the middle, his first one of the year. And this is going to score 2 more. And it's now 3-0 Tampa Bay here in the bottom of the first. And the Rays have just come out on fire offensively.
For sure. They just had a big game, and this is only 1 out.
Yeah. Tanaka definitely. Maybe I was saying before the game we might not have to worry about seeing the bullpen for the Yankees because this is only going to be an hour and 15-minute broadcast. But the way Tanaka's pitching so far, they might want to think about warming up one of their longer relievers.
I would right now, especially with the performances.
Is that one just out of the reach of young shortstop Ronald Torres?
Good hit right there.
That was a beautiful hit by Logan Morrison. Right after we said he had 7 singles last year, he gets a 2 RBI single here with 1 out in the bottom of the first and the bases loaded. Tanaka now will face Tim Beckham, the shortstop, very young shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays. They like this kid a lot. He's very fast. And he had 5 triples last year, a .247 average, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 25 runs scored. They like this guy as the shortstop of the future, and he's up with 2 on and 1 out. And he takes strike 1, a nice upstairs sinker there from Tanaka, and he's ahead in the count on Tim Beckham. He was the number 1 overall pick in the 2008 draft. No wonder they think so highly of him. Definitely a big future here in Tampa Bay. A lot of expectations for him.
Oh, yeah. So far, his stats are very modest, but I can see them just getting better as this year continues.
As he swings and misses at a changeup there from Tanaka, and Tanaka, for the first time in this game, is ahead 0-2.
Yeah, you have to be able to hit that ball.
Yeah, this is definitely this at bat at least. We're starting to see maybe a little bit of the Masahiro Tanaka we saw last year, where quickly ahead, shows good command with all of his pitches, and likes to work efficiently. Oh
yeah, for sure. He had a earlier it was very bad bottom of the first, but
0-2. It is a blooper by Beckham, but it will be caught by the center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury, and a much needed second out there for the Yankees. And now it will bring up the 8th hitter in the lineup, left fielder Malik Smith, who got the start today after Peter Borges was ruled unable to play today due to an injury. And Malik Smith hit .238 last year, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, 28 runs scored, and 16 stolen bases. Very fast outfielder. They got him from the Atlanta Braves, and I think they expected a lot out of this guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He is played very well last year, and I'm excited to see what he does right now.
2 on, 2 outs. Tanaka's thrown 20 pitches here in the bottom of the first. It's 3-0 Rays, following a sacrifice fly by Evan Longoria and a 2-run single by Logan Morrison. As there you saw Malik Smith swing and miss at another Tanaka pitch, and now Tanaka's thrown 4 straight strikes.
Yeah, he's bounced back. Pitching coach must have talked some sense into him and calmed him down.
Yeah, definitely. So now here comes the 0-1 offering. Waiting on deck is the 9 hitter. Is it another swing and miss there? Tanaka, it's just starting to throw the pitches we remember so much from last year. As these young hitters, Beckham and Malik Smith, are just confused what pitch it is, where it's going to be. They just swinging the bats and hoping it makes contact.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's looking like he's struggling out there, but Tanaka is showing his poise as well.
Yeah, one strike away from getting out of this inning. And the 0-2, he gets Malik Smith to chase a low curveball there. And the first strikeout of the season for Masahiro Tanaka. And he gets out of a much-needed jam in the first inning. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Tampa Bay Rays. And Chris Archer's got a 3-run lead going to the top of the second. Wow, not the start I was anticipating in this one.
Oh, no, for sure. I was expecting the Yankees to come out there strong and dominate, especially early on. But
well, we're going to get to see a mix of Yankee veterans and rookies after the break. It's going to be center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury, second baseman Starlin Castro, and third baseman Chase Headley. But following them up is Aaron Judge and Ronald Torreyes. So we'll get to see some of the young Yankees bats coming up soon. While we're waiting here while Chris Archer warms up for the second inning of work, why don't we look at the 25-man roster for Tampa Bay? Obviously, Chris Archer on the mound, their ace. The rest of the rotation, Jake Odorizzi, Alex Cobb, Matt Andriese, and Blake Snell. In the bullpen, they have Jacob Faria, Tommy Hunter, Jumbo Diaz, Erasmo Ramirez, Danny Farquhar, Xavier Cedeno, and Alex Colomé is the closer. Matthew Duffy, Peter Borges, Curtis Casale, Ricky Weeks, and Nick Franklin make up the bench. You know the starting lineup as we're an inning and a half into the game. And now we'll have Mark break down the starting prospects for the Rays. I unfortunately couldn't find the projected Major League debut for most of these pitchers, but Jacob Faria obviously on the 25-man roster. And I know they're expecting to see Brent Honeywell and Josh Lowe later on this year as well, while Adames and Bowers probably have a couple more years left down in the minors.
Well, yeah, one guy I like is the shortstop, Willie Adames. He's shown very good skills, especially on defense.
Yeah, for sure. Willie Adames projected to be if it doesn't work out with Tim Beckham, the number 1 overall pick in 2008, I think Willie Adames is thought of as the suitable replacement.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can see him. If Beckham does not step up, I can see him taking his spot for sure.
You have a couple more pitchers in the Rays farm system than we saw with the Yankees. Brent Honeywell, a young starting pitcher that they see a lot of. They think a lot of and expect to see him later on this year. He's got a good fastball, good control with his breaking ball, and not a great strikeout pitcher, but he gets the job done. And I think you could see him, especially with a rebuilding Tampa Bay team, I think you could see him later on this season.
Yeah, I could see him breaking the rotation and making some clutch stops at the ends of innings.
Yeah, we'll go over the 3 other prospects for the Rays after the top of the second inning. Chris Archer deals for his second inning of work as he fires a fastball in the outside corner, strike 1 to Jacoby Ellsbury, who comes into this game last year hitting .263, 20 stolen bases, 56 RBIs, along with 9 home runs and 71 runs scored. He led the team with 20 stolen bases, definitely, and a very solid center fielder for the Yankees. And he slaps a leadoff, just foul, it looks like. That looked like a double down the line from my view, but it does drift just foul down the right field line.
Oh, yeah, it was close.
And now an 0-2 hole for Ellsbury to climb out of. And Archer definitely looking more comfortable with that 3-run lead than he did in the top of the first.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He was shaken up, especially after that hit to his ankle.
Yeah. And the 2-out walk to Greg Bird that Matt Holliday almost beat out that play at first base too. I think if Matt Holliday would have reached, we might have some real problems in that top of the first, but he did get out of it, and his offense helped him out there, getting 3 runs off of Tanaka in the bottom of the first. And now here's the 0-2 offering from Archer to Ellsbury, and this one is fastball,
way wide.
Fastball about at the head of the catcher, Derek Norris. And now 1-2. That was definitely, I think, a waste pitch there where you just got to throw one that's way outside of the zone and hope they chase it.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing he wears a face mask there, or else that could have been very bad.
Oh, yeah. Archer, not very accurate there on that pitch. But here comes a 1-2. And Chris Archer, it is put in a play by Ellsbury. Chasing it down is Malik Smith. He makes the catch in foul ground, and Jacoby Ellsbury retired for the first out here at the top of the second. Now coming up to bat is the second baseman acquired from the Cubs a couple years ago, As if you remember last year, like we mentioned earlier, last year's Yankees opening day lineup featured 3 through 6, A-Rod, Teixeira, Beltran, and McCann. A-Rod and Teixeira obviously both retired. Beltran left to go to the Texas Rangers in a trade at the trade deadline, and then Brian McCann was traded over the offseason to the Houston Astros. So a big core of that team from last year for the Yankees is no longer there, and they need those rookies to step up this year.
Yep, a fresh start for them. And let's see if they'll go well. I know the Yankees have not looked solid on opening day in the last few years, but we're hoping that this can break the trend.
Yeah, definitely. Now here comes a guy they got from the Cubs a couple years ago, Starlin Castro. He is the second baseman now for the Yankees, and he chases a low slider there, and he's quickly behind 0-2 from Archer as well. Archer doing very well at getting ahead in the count and just having every batter in his control rather than having to throw him a strike and risking any home runs or doubles or anything.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just play it safe right here, see if they'll swing.
Yeah, 0-2 pitch here from Archer, 1 out in the top of the second. High heater almost went around there. Castro had to hold it back. And we will go again. As the Yankees farm system, as they've traded more and more veterans over the years, has gone from one of the worst in baseball to now the second best in baseball. The Yankees definitely a team that is planning for a very, very bright future, and I'm excited to see where the future brings them.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited for their this season and future seasons.
As Brad Miller stumbles making the play, Castro is going to beat it out, and that is an infield single for Starlin Castro and the New York Yankees.
Lucky right there. If he wouldn't have tripped, then he would have been out.
Oh, definitely. I'm curious to see if they're going to rule that an error on Brad Miller, who just slipped there, or are they going to rule that an infield single? And that will bring up now Chase Headley, the third baseman who was acquired 2 years ago in a trade with the San Diego Padres, and he is the third baseman for the Yankees, and he's going to bat with, for now at least, Castro on first. It's very close as we're looking at the replay.
I mean, I'd say you call him safe.
We haven't gotten word if Kevin Cash is going to challenge this yet, but it's very close.
That is.
I can't tell if his foot hits before. Yes, it is under review right now, but I can't tell if his foot hits the base before Morrison has control of it, or if I can't tell. It's clearly in the glove of Morrison before Castro touches the base, but does he squeeze it in time?
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough evidence here to overrule the call on the field. But
yeah, I think this is the first challenge in the career of Kevin Cash as a manager, and this is a very close call. Very good play to challenge, but this is going to be this could be a momentum shift for either team. If they rule Castro safe, it's going to be Headley and Judge, two of the better hitters in this lineup with a runner on base. If they rule them out, Archer's 1 out away from getting out of the second with a 3-run lead.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a big call right here in the top of the second.
Yeah, if it's called safe, it'll give the Yankees life again, but
it's very close. I'm looking at this replay. I can't see either way. I'm so glad I'm not an umpire having to make this call, because no matter what you call, there's going to be 50% of the fans in attendance are not going to be happy.
I would say more than 50 with the amount of blue I saw out there.
Yeah, that's true. Tampa, not many. I'm sure not quite as many Yankees fans drove down from the Bronx to watch opening day in Tampa.
And it is confirmed safe.
It is confirmed. They declared that the ball was not squeezed by Logan Morrison before Castro's foot touched the base. And now there is a runner on first for the Yankees with 1 out, with Chase Headley coming to the plate, who was one of the better power hitters for the Yankees last year returning. He had 14 home runs, 51 RBIs, 58 runs scored, and a .251 average. And very solid third base option as well. Defensively, one of the better. He's won 2 Gold Gloves in his career, and he takes a low ball 1 from Chris Archer. And now, with the runner on base, do you think you're going to start to see a little bit more of the wild side of Chris Archer instead of the cool, composed, no one's on, and I have a 3-run lead Chris Archer?
I think you'll see a more erratic and undisciplined pitcher for sure.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Chris Archer. And that one catches the high inside corner. Strike 1, 1-1 now to Chase Headley. Waiting on deck is a guy we're both very excited to see after hitting .430 in spring training with a team leading 9 home runs, and that's Aaron Judge.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to see him and see how well he does on the plate.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Archer. And that is swung on and missed, strike 2. 1-2 now to Chase Headley. And going back to Aaron Judge, this guy was projected to not make the team at all. And if he did, it was going to be on the bench. Like, they were like, we're going to give him another year in AAA. And maybe you let him pinch hit on the bench. But he impressed so much. And he ended up making the starting right fielder, Aaron Hicks, get demoted to the bench. And he's now the starting right fielder for the Bronx Bombers.
Oh, yeah, he did very well in the spring. And I'm excited to see what he can do today.
Yeah, 1-2 is fouled off by Chase Headley to keep the at-bat alive with Castro on first. Castro led the team in RBIs last year. I forgot to mention that with his 70 RBIs. And now 1-2 to Headley with Judge on deck and Ronald Torreyes, the young shortstop with Didi Gregorius out of the lineup after him. And then we go back to the top of the lineup. But we'll see how Archer deals with Chase Headley here. A 1-2 count. 1 out, runner on first. Here is the kick and fire from the stretch, and that one bounces in the dirt, and it's now 2-2. Chase Headley doing a very nice job of hanging in there after falling behind 1-2. He's fouled off a pitch and now taking a ball.
Oh, yeah, and the catcher right there made a great stop on that wild pitch.
Yeah, that's veteran Derek Norris. He's now entering his 9th season in the league. Definitely no stranger to having to make those kind of plays.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
So here comes a 2-2 with 1 out. Now the 31st pitch of the game from Chris Archer. Both pitchers throwing quite a bit here in the early going. And that's going to be he beats the shift and singles down the left field line. And now life for the Yankees, back-to-back hits. And here comes the tying run to the plate. And it's probably the guy with the most power on either team, Aaron Judge.
Oh, yeah, a big moment for the rookie. Let's see how he does.
Now, I know you're a Yankees fan, Mark, but Aaron Judge, this guy, I feel like he should be a football player. This man is 6'8" and 275 pounds. That doesn't scream outfielder to me.
Yeah, it screams defensive end on for football more than.
You think the New York Giants have looked at this guy at all?
I don't know. Well, I mean, which Giants?
That's very true. I think New York Jets definitely, after the year they had last year, could use any help. And Aaron Judge definitely a very big dude. And he swings at the first pitch. Aaron Judge has doubled in the left field, and the Yankees are on the board. It is now a 3-1 game, and they're going to be on second and third with 1 out. And we were saying how excited we were. First pitch he gets an RBI double. That's very impressive out of the
powerful hit. Great play. Yankees are back in this one.
Chris Archer just gave him a hanging slider, and Judge just no, he doesn't need to wait on a pitch right there. I thought when I first saw it, I thought it might have a chance of leaving the park, but it just dropped a little too fast. But I'm sure the Yankees will take any help they can get getting back into this game.
I'm sure that bench is all smiles right now.
And now here comes another young Yankee player, Ronald Torreyes, who had a .258 batting average with a home run, 12 RBIs, and 20 runs scored. Not very much action, but I know they think very highly of this kid, obviously, making him the replacement for Didi Gregorius.
Oh, yeah, big shoes to fill, and let's see how well he does.
He takes a low fastball there from Archer, ball 1, and now all of a sudden you're starting to see that Chris Archer that we saw a little bit in the first inning, that rattled version, and the Yankees starting to show the bats that we thought we'd see today with single by Castro, infield single by Castro, single by Headley, and now a double by Aaron Judge. 1-0 pitch, and this one on the ground, foul by Torreyes. Good thing, too, because that was going right at Evan Longoria, who's one of the best third basemen in all of baseball.
Oh, yeah, that would have been an out if it was called fair.
So now a 1-1 pitch with runners on second and third for the Yankees. Chris Archer takes a deep breath and gets a sign from Derek Norris. Torreyes is doing his little shimmy, which fans here love so much. And he chops it. This will score another run, folks. Torreyes with an RBI on a ground out. Headley scores. It's a 3-2 game, and Judge advances to third. And now it'll be Brett Gardner, one of the veterans on this team. If he can come through with a single here with 2 outs, this game could be tied.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to see what will happen at the end of the top of the first.
We thought the Yankees might be not we thought this might be the 6th straight year the Yankees lose on opening day after that first inning Tanaka had, but this Yankees team has rebounded very well here in the top of the second against Archer.
Showing extreme poise right now, and this is the kind of comeback that is needed to win a lot of games in the season.
Gardner, of course, grounded out on the second pitch of the game he hit a fly ball to right field, but definitely one of the better hitters on this Yankee team, hitting 261 last year, and he's got a big opportunity here in his second at-bat of the season as he takes a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, trying to get the big man home.
Yeah, Aaron Judge, I can't. I'm seeing this guy right now on third base. This guy's massive. I can't believe he's playing baseball.
Big guy. See if he can use some of that those legs.
Yeah, maybe in the offseason he can work as a defensive ends coach with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I'm sure he played football in high school. I mean, when you're that kind of physical stature, you got to think football, basketball, baseball, maybe even track and field.
Oh, yeah. Might have been a thrower for track for sure.
Might have been the rare 5-sport athlete in high school. Just that kind of physical presence. And here's the 1-1 from Archer, and Gardner's going to slap a grounder to second. That will end the inning. Yankees cannot tie the game up, but Aaron Judge and Ronald Torreyes, two of the young guys for the Yankees, coming up big and getting the Yankees back in this game. Tanaka will take the mound instead of down 3, only down 1 now, and now I'm sure he can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, but that game's still close, and if Tanaka continues to play like he did at the end of the bottom of the first, then I can see the Yankees coming out with a quick lead.
Yeah, definitely. Going back to the Rays prospects we were talking about a little bit after the bottom of the first, Brent Honeywell, obviously, we said, is a guy you could definitely see this year. Jake Bauers, an outfield prospect, known for a very good average, not quite there with the power yet or the defense. So I think we'll see another at least year or two of him in the minors before he makes his debut with the Rays, especially because the problem isn't outfield for the Rays. They have 3 really young outfielders that are all pretty solid in Malik Smith, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr.
Oh, yeah, their outfield is played pretty solid, and we'll see them get better as the year goes on.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have third baseman Joshua Lowe, who I know they like a lot. They think he's going to be the long-term replacement for Evan Longoria when he retires. And I think that you could see him later on this year when they call up the 40-man roster and want to give Longoria some days off as the season comes to an end. I think you could see him a lot at third base for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I would say use him. Use Longoria only sparingly when you need him, especially with age.
Yeah, you don't want Longoria getting hurt. He's the face of the franchise.
You gotta keep him for the bigger games, especially late in the season. You don't want to get him too exhausted.
And number 5 prospect for the Rays is Jacob Faria, a starting pitcher who did make the team in the bullpen as a long reliever. And you could see this guy a little later today if Archer doesn't settle down a little bit. I think his pitch count is getting up there, and he's already given up 2 runs. I think you could see a guy like Jacob Faria later on in the game.
Oh, yeah. If Archer does not continue, or if Archer does not pull it in and make it a quick 3-and-out on the innings, I can definitely see the Faria coming in.
Definitely. Games later on today, you could see Diamondbacks and Giants at 4 o'clock at the conclusion of this one. It'll be Madison Bumgarner against Zach Greinke. That's a pitching matchup right there. And then the night game tonight, John Lester and the Cubs, defending champs. We can say that for the first time since 1907. Or 1909, I'm sorry. The Cubs are defending champs. And they take on their arch rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the new young fireball ace, Carlos Martinez.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a great game.
I'm excited to see both of those. Now stepping into the box is Derek Norris, the veteran catcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's head 2-0 now quickly on Tanaka, and now it's 3-0. But Norris last year, the problem wasn't his production. He had 14 home runs, 42 RBIs, and 50 runs scored, which isn't bad for a catcher at all. He was playing for the Padres. The problem is he hit 186, and he played in over 100 games. If you play in that many games and you're hitting under 200, that just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, he needs to be able to make more better contact with the ball.
Tanaka throws a fastball right down the middle there on 3-0, and it's a strike, 3-1 now to Norris. Tanaka, I think you're still seeing a little bit of the nerves, the jitters of opening day, but I think he's starting to look more and more with each pitch like the Tanaka we know from the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
3-1 pitch, and Norris is going to ground it to third. Chase Headley will make the play, and that is a quick out that the Yankees definitely needed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely, even despite how well you can play defense, it's about if you can't score runs, then you're going to have a very poor season.
Yeah, for sure. Now, with one out, it will be back to the top of the order, and the DH, Chris Dickerson, who had a single to right center to start off the game and kind of catapulted that 3-run first inning for the Rays. We'll see if he can get on base again against Tanaka, or will Tanaka learn how to retire him?
We'll see how he does. I'm excited to see this matchup right now.
First pitch is an inside slider to Dickerson, kind of back him up off the plate there. Good idea there from Tanaka. I like it, and it's 1-0. Obviously, very fun part of opening day is all the new stadiums and all the new stuff to the stadiums, and it doesn't get much better than Tampa Bay Tropicana Field. A beautiful venue here in Tampa Bay, indoor dome, so we don't have to deal with that 90-degree heat outside, and just love seeing all the different ballparks.
Oh, yeah, but that's the best part of baseball, though, is the warm climates, especially in places like Arizona or Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Here comes a 1-1 from Tanaka, and it's a swing and miss from Dickerson. And Tanaka looking more poised this time against Dickerson than definitely against the last time. He's ahead 1-2. Tampa Bay up 3-2 here if you're just joining us in the bottom of the second inning with one out. Chris Dickerson up to the plate. In the bottom of the first, the Rays struck first with a single back-to-back as there Tanaka strikes out Dickerson. Way to rebound there by Masahiro Tanaka. His second strikeout of the day and 2 quick outs for the Yankees, and it comes up to Kevin Kiermaier.
We'll see how well he does. I'm hoping that Tanaka can get it done and take it to the third. Yeah.
No doubt. Top of the third, or the third inning, will be a very strong lineup for the Yankees. Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, and Matt Holliday due up for the Yankees.
Ooh.
As that's a slider that really hooks inside there and made Kiermaier jump back a little bit. Ball 1.
Oh, yeah, almost hit him there.
But I think it's very interesting to see all the new faces on the Yankees. I mean, I'm so used to – I grew up with Teixeira, Rodriguez, and Cano, and Jeter, and Posada, and now – none of those guys are left. It's a completely different Yankees team.
Yeah, but when you will lose people like that, you need to find replacements.
Yankees one of the best teams in the league at finding those replacements and staying good in the long term. Not many years that you can say the Yankees are not a playoff team.
Oh, yeah.
As that one inside as well from Tanaka, and it's 2-1 to Kiermaier. Longoria on deck, and I'm sure Tanaka wants to get Kiermaier out now and not have to deal with Longoria.
Oh yeah, you can't afford to get a hit here because of Longoria is so dangerous as a
swung
batter.
On and missed there. Kiermaier, it's 2-2. That was a nice pitch there. That was a splitter down and low and got Kiermaier to chase it. That was a beautiful pitch by Tanaka, showing his command of that breaking ball.
Yeah, great way to fake him out.
Here comes a 2-2 offering from Tanaka, and that's an inside fastball, and the count runs full. But if you're just joining us, Rays struck first in the bottom of the first with hits by Dickerson and Kiermaier. Longoria ended up with a sac fly. After Brad Miller got walked, Logan Morrison ended up with a 2-run single to make it 3-0 Rays. I'm sorry. And then on the top of the second, Castro with an infield single, Headley with a single, Aaron Judge with a double off the wall to score the first run of the year for the Yankees, and then Torres scored another one on a ground ball and got the Yankees back into this one. It's now 3-2. And now a full count pitch here. We'll do it again to Kevin Kiermaier. 39th pitch of the game coming up for Tanaka. And, that's going to leave a mark. Kiermaier fouls it off of his foot. I've done that before playing baseball. It does not feel good.
No, not pleasant at all. I'm sure he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, you just got to deal with it, though, and finish this at bat. And hopefully but I've seen over the years a lot of people break their foot, break their hand and stuff, fouling pitches off, and it's definitely a pain. And on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, sinker there drifts a little high on Tanaka, and he walks Kiermaier with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And now coming up is the most dangerous hitter in the Rays lineup, Evan Longoria.
Yeah, bad throw by Tanaka there. And the batter was just testing his ankle, make sure everything was okay.
Longoria last year was way better on the road than at home, but I mean, pretty much 50-50 on where he hit his home runs. So he's dangerous almost everywhere he goes.
You can't give up a home run right now. Make it another 3.
No, you gotta find a way to get Longoria out and then get out of this inning. Like I said, the big bats of New York due up next inning: Sanchez, Bird, and Holiday. And you gotta think if they're gonna get us back in this game, it's got to be as few runs difference as possible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tanaka stares down Sanchez and fires inside, fastball, ball 1 to Longoria. And I guess if Tanaka's going to miss, I guess it's a good thing that he's missing inside, because when you miss outside, usually that's more power, because that's where the bulk of the bat lays. And
oh yeah,
if you miss a fastball outside, that ball could be traveling for a while.
Yeah, it might go out of the park.
Longoria with a sac fly in the first inning to score the first run of the season here in Major League Baseball. And the 1-0 from Tanaka, and Longoria hits it a long way. And speaking of home runs, Evan Longoria with a 2-run home run, the first home run of the season for the Tampa Bay Rays and for anybody in baseball. And it's now 5-2 Rays here in the bottom of the second.
And this is what you wanted to not happen.
Yeah,
worst
case scenario here for Tanaka. I mean, you give up a base hit to Longoria, you can rebound, but a 2-run bomb that gives Longoria and the Rays and Chris Archer, that confidence he needs again.
And this inning continues on for Tanaka.
Yes, and we're now entering the final 10 minutes of this broadcast. Obviously, we're still in the bottom of the second of this opening day game, but so far, a lot of action. It's proven to be a very competitive AL East matchup again.
Shootout here.
I could definitely, at the rate the bats are swinging right now, if you have to go to the bullpen early, I could see this game being very high scoring. Tanaka now fires inside a little bit, and it's 1-1 to Brad Miller, the cleanup hitter. And you just got to get this guy out now. You can't allow another base runner and have your confidence altered even more.
No, definitely not. They're now in the same position they were to start the second, and hopefully it doesn't get any worse to start the third.
And Tanaka now behind 3-0 to Miller, and he's now a ball away from walking him with Souza Jr. on deck. Tanaka stares down Gary Sanchez, and here comes the windup. And he pops him up. Why? I don't know why Brad Miller would swing there on a 3-0, but he flies it to center. Jacoby Ellsbury makes the catch, and Tanaka finally out of the inning. We go to the third, which will be our last inning here. Probably we'll just get through the top of the third, and we'll be done there. It's 5-2 Tampa Bay as we go to the third inning here on opening day. A 2-run home run by Evan Longoria. We'll be right back. This is Lucidity by DJ Lingboy. Back here at Tropicana Field here for the top of the third. Our last inning of work here on opening day. It is the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees, with the Yankees trailing 5-2 coming up to bat here in the top of the third. And leading off is catcher Gary Sanchez, who grounded out to second his first at-bat. First pitch from Archer is a fastball just a bit low, ball one. So what do you think? Do you think the Yankees will rebound this inning, or do you think the Rays just have too much momentum right now?
I think that the Yankees need to step up. If they don't step up this inning and tie it up, then going forward they don't really have a shot, especially with the way that their defense is played, and especially with Longoria's home run.
Yeah, Archer fires a strike on the inside corner for strike one. Interesting fact. The average age of the Yankees opening day lineup is 29 years and 163 days. That's the youngest Yankees starting lineup in 25 years since 1992.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. A lot of Yankees teams since then that have won the World Series and have made deep runs in the playoffs. It's hard to believe that we have this young of a Yankee team.
Yeah, and if this team's going to make a deep run into the playoffs this year, then they're going to have to steal their confidence.
Yeah. Here comes the 2-1 from Archer to Gary Sanchez. And Sanchez gets a pitch in the zone. He grounds it to short. Tim Beckham will make the play, and Sanchez is sat down on his second ground ball of the day. And now coming up is Greg Bird, who drew a walk his first time up. Again, some Yankees on the roster this year. Tyler Austin on the bench as a young outfielder. He's 25 years old, 13th round pick in 2010. Aaron Judge is 24. He's a first-round pick. Then they have also Gary Sanchez, who's 24, and Greg Bird is 24. Then they have Torres, who's 20. Clint Frazier is 22. Justice Sheffield is 20. Blake Rutherford is 19. This team is so young, and they're only going to get younger.
Oh, yeah. I can just
as Bird swings and pops up the first pitch he sees, Malik Smith will run it down in foul territory, and that is 2 quick outs for Chris Archer.
Not looking good for the Yankees right now.
No, and now here comes a guy who's looking to revive his career, Matt Holliday, the designated hitter.
Yeah, hopefully he can put some life into the Yankees right now.
Yeah,
because they're not looking good right now, heading into what looks like to be heading into the bottom of the third.
Yeah, we will be done after this. After the top of the third concludes, as we promised we would only do an hour and 15 minutes of this game. And we're approaching an hour and 13 right now. And it's been a fun one so far. Chris Archer now facing Matt Holliday. And here's the first pitch. Outside fastball, ball one. Matt Holliday, again, grounded out on that bang-bang play in the first inning that ended up being challenged by Joe Girardi. 246 average last year, like we mentioned earlier, 20 home runs. This guy is definitely a productive hitter. He's just got to stay healthy.
Oh, yeah. His health is definitely his biggest problem in his career. And when he's on the field, he's fantastic. But staying there is the question.
Yeah. 1-1 pitch from Archer is just a bit out. They call it a strike. That appeared to be low and outside there. I don't agree with that call there by the umpire. But it's now 1-2 count to Matt Holliday. Archer clearly trying to paint the corner, but that one looked low and away to me and didn't appear like it caught the zone.
The Rays got a lucky one right there.
Yeah, here comes the 1-2 pitch from Archer, a strike away from ending this broadcast. And Holliday goes down swinging on the slider. That will do it for here, guys. Going to the bottom of the third, it is 5-2 Tampa Bay. We will not stop watching this game, but we are done calling this game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for Mark for joining me here for an opening day game. It was really fun, and I will see you. I'll pick a game this week, guys. Let you know on Wednesday which one I will be calling this next week, and we'll go from there. I hope you guys enjoyed this play-by-play. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next episode of Sports Talk. See you guys then. Bye.